Welcome back to We Like That podcast.
Because we like that. I'm Joe.
And I'm Calvin.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome. Turn me up. Hurrah-bum. Feel like I'm in the studio now. How was your week?
Week was dramatic, but it ended well. We went to the National Aquarium in Baltimore. Celebrate our anniversary. It's our anniversary.
Yes. It's our anniversary.
Do you know what time it is? Or wait, that's not the lyric. Do you know? I don't know.
What day it is?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Because it's our anniversary
Yes.
for you and me.
I was happy and jubilant until now.
Until now.
Yes. No, really.
Did
No,
you
it
have,
was cool.
did you have fun at the aquarium?
The best part was the
Losing your phone?
yes. It was amazing. Because I'm not really connected to my phone like everybody else, so I can easily lose it
Uh,
and be far away from it before I realize that I don't have it.
That's not good.
But my favorite part was the movie where they kept spitting in my face.
We we went to a shark 4D movie. It's like 15 minutes. Where you get like a little documentary style movie of sharks, but it's 4D. So you get sprayed with water. Something pokes you in the back. It was really funny because it's geared for kids, but you hear these grown adults freaking out. Oh shit! It's hilarious. It was so funny. When the air would blow at your legs, it was hysterical.
I was not prepared for that. I just thought it was gonna be 3D, so I didn't know 4D meant you get
Full experience.
uh
All the
wet.
senses. Touch, taste, smell, rumble,
So
feels.
I'm not. I guess I know what 4D means now.
We also did the VR experience. I thought that was cool too.
Yeah, everything was pretty cool. It smelled like fresh
Fish.
saltwater fishy. It smelled really fishy in that place.
It was fun. There were times where I was like, are these real animals or is this a TV screen? But it was really fun to see everything.
It was cool. I had a good time.
Calvin wouldn't look at the snakes though. And I got him twice. So
Moving
wins for me.
right along. And it's that time again. She has the good news for you. And that happened with Joe.
Well, before we get into That Happened, we're going to be talking about 90 Day the Other Way, season 6, episode 6, I think. Love After Lockup's weird numbering, the latest episode. It's classified as episode 33 of season 5. It's the latest one. Are worth the watch is 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After, season 8, Tell All Part 2.
And it just got more crazier.
Well, so many crazies.
Yeah. The most craziest thing is that the network want to make you hunt for it like it's diamonds
Some people are saying
or pearls.
that there was a mistake by somebody with TLC. Something didn't get licensed right. Allegedly, something fell through, and that's why their streaming services don't have access to it. In my opinion, I don't think there was a mistake. I think TLC wanted the views straight to their channel, either through their own app, which is TLC Go, or through the show itself. That's what I think.
Especially because I think they probably tested it and they knew they had something. Somewhere they figured out they had something.
Well, no, they already knew because it's been explained that the whole Michael thing, because that was huge news earlier in the year, that Michael did a runner, that he left and no one knew where he was. That was huge news. So they already knew they had something. And apparently they were already taping. They were taping in January. Michael made his escape in February. So they knew they had something. Mm-hmm. So for me, that further proves that this was not a mistake. This was on purpose to get original views straight to their channel or through the app. But joke's on them. We found other ways to watch it. So
ha ha ha.
Anywho. Because they're like, yeah, if you're on the streaming services, you have to wait till the end of August. I was like, what? Why? Why can't we use the TLC Go app and just put the service that we're subscribed to and watch it? That's not an option. So,
They don't
anyway,
want to be like Dylon.
I don't know what that means.
Arababum, arababum.
Okay.
Back to you.
Does anybody even know your reference? Okay.
I don't know.
So, on to that happen. First thing up, there is a trending video I wanted Calvin's opinion on. I'd show him the whole video, but he disassociates very quickly. Essentially, it's a video of this white woman with her kids in her house, right? And she goes, "Today's our anniversary. I'm waiting to see how long it takes my husband to realize this." And it's just a video of her like doing her everyday stuff in the house, making the kids food, washing laundry, whatever, whatever. And it's the husband kind of coming in and out of the house. And he's like, "Hey, honey." Because she looks at him for a long time. He's like, "Hey, hon." And she's like, "Hey." And he's like, "Okay. All right." And it goes through into the evening. And finally she breaks and is like, "Do you even know what today is?" And he goes, "Wednesday?" And she goes, "It's our anniversary." And her daughter is like, she's been waiting all day to see if you knew that it was her anniversary. And he's like, "Oh, happy anniversary." Basically like that. And that's where the video ends. And she posts it on TikTok. Of course, immediately, all of the comments are like, "Dump him, divorce him. He doesn't appreciate you. He doesn't value you. Yada, yada, bloom, 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 blah." Because there's a trend of people posting like these little points of their relationships where it doesn't highlight a positive aspect of the relationship. And that is the immediate response, 9 times out of 10. So those are the responses she gets. And she responds by going, "You guys are not in my relationship. You don't know us." And it's like, of course not. This is what you posted. This is what you shared to everybody. So if this is the opinions that people are going to have, you made it public.
This is why I don't comment on nobody's posts.
Then she posts again with a follow up with her husband, who's like, "I remembered all of the other anniversaries. We've been together for 30 plus years, yada, yada, yada. This was just one day." That didn't resolve anything whatsoever. So, all that being said, basically the person who posted it now is like taking this stance of people don't know what they're talking about and they need to stick, basically mind their own business. My thing is, you posted this publicly. Of course, they're not going to mind their own business. The internet has the free time, all the free time in the world. So if you didn't want that to be the outcome, I don't think you should have posted that video. And this person's old enough to know that it's going to go negative before it goes positive. So
I don't know why you taking it like that. That person knew what they were doing. This is what they wanted. So at the end of the day, I don't care.
if you look at the other videos on that person's page, she's trying to be an influencer. She's trying to like show you Amazon affiliate links and she's trying to like get you to buy other products that she might be sponsoring. It's hilarious.
Okay, now it makes sense why she did it, right?
Well, we know why she did it, but what was cracking me up was her responses to all of it. That's what was cracking me up.
Your response only has to make sense to you.
Okay, I guess so. It was hilarious. Speaking of other trending videos happening on TikTok, let me tell you a story. So there's a lady that pops up on this video. She just got off of her social media and she saw this story where this lady was asking for advice. This lady is having a birthday party for her 4-year-old. It's Paw Patrol inspired.
Oh my God.
Okay. And she
I-
kind of wants all the people that she's inviting to kind of color coordinate, like dress appropriately. And like blues and reds. I don't know what Paw Patrol colors are. So that's what she puts out there. The day of the party comes and one of her best friends comes in like a see-through club outfit. So think of like a mesh lace dress where you can totally see through it.
Why?
I don't know. Usually people wear like a black underwear set or something underneath it because it's sheer. But according to social media, this best friend came to the party with nothing on underneath, just the sheer dress. And when the mom asked her friend why she was doing this, she was like, "I'm trying to catch a man. I'm trying to hook a husband." And the mom was like, "That's inappropriate," and sent her friend home. Her friend's response was to jump on her own social media and lambaste this mom about how she's trying to police what she was wearing. And then the end question from this video is like, would you have kicked out your friend if they wore this like see-through mess dress to like your 4-year-old's birthday party or not? And the presenter who originally showed the video was like, "I would not allow this to happen. You still have to have blah, 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 ethics and more blah, blah, blah." So that goes out. And of course, people are starting to respond like, this sounds crazy, yada, yada. But then there's a faction of people, myself included, that are like, there's a lot of details missing in this story. Like, one, how is this a best friend and she decided to wear a see through dress with nothing underneath to a 4-year-old party? One. Two, the original poster that a lot of us came across only uses the word social media. She doesn't say which one. She doesn't say I saw it on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram. She doesn't say any of those. She just says social media. And then she saw it on somebody else's social media, and that other people use social media to spread it, which is not very specific. It's very vague. So now there's also a discourse of people being like, the original poster is a lady who says that she's sharing this story. She made it up. Because if you look at the rest of that lady's videos, it's her sharing stories. Her coming across either like, am I the asshole on Reddit stories or other stuff like that. So people are like, this is a made up story that she used to get views. And it worked. And it worked. Because nobody can find the original posting of this happening anywhere. So it falls down into two things of like, is it real? And if it is real, would you have policed your friends? And if it's, or do you believe that it's not real at all? And it was just for views from somebody who just put to get views.
It's probably both.
I don't know. It feels mad made up. Let me see if I can find the
When
dress.
I say made, half of the stuff on the internet is made up. So do I think she did it for views? Of course. So does it matter?
Oh, knocking stuff off. You see this dress?
Sure.
See how it's like sheer?
Yes.
That's what she said somebody wore to a 4-year-old's birthday party. And the picture she shows is literally that. It's like an ad from another retailer,
Well,
not from a post.
well,
So people are like, this isn't, the dots aren't connecting.
well, people should stop commenting on everything that they see on social media. Then they won't have to worry about it.
It was very interesting.
That's my answer to that.
It was very interesting.
Now, the answer to the possibly fake scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was wrong for wearing that to a kid's birthday party.
So my thing is, can you even place judgment on a fictional character? Because like this, it's not real. It's not real.
In that scenario, I'm not even talking about if it's real or not. I'm just talking about scenario uno one. It's still wrong to wear to a kid's birthday party like you going to the club.
But my thing is, no one does it. That's my thing. No one does it.
Trust me,
That's why it was made up.
Trust me, if you're in the ghetto, somebody does it.
But so that's somebody else points that out too. They're like, even if it is fake, we all know somebody who would do something like this. I'm like, you would know somebody who would dress a certain way, sure. But completely naked under a sheer outfit at a 4-year-old's birthday party? Naked. Completely naked? No. Something hoochie, probably. But naked? No.
I don't know. Times have changed. That's all I can tell you.
My other thing is, if you want to dress hoochie to a 4-year-old's birthday party, that's on you. They're 4. They don't know.
You're not coming in my house.
They don't know what's going on. They're 4.
You're not coming in my house. Because I knew what titties were when I was 4.
You can know what titties are, but it doesn't mean you have a sexualized association with them.
I did.
Okay, Calvin. Sure.
You need to talk to my sister. And
Were
her
you
friends.
molested as a 4-year-old?
No.
That's insane.
I was doing the molesting.
You were insane. Anywho.
Yes, I did.
Anywho. So that's going on. The other thing I have is that apparently Australia has a beef with the USA in this year's Olympics. Apparently, according to Australia, it's been an ongoing beef for some time because they feel like America is super arrogant and full of themselves, and they're not wrong in any of those aspects. But a Guardian video got posted from an Australian Guardian video got posted. Guardian's already known for being kind of like a tabloid. They put out stuff, they bait for views. And basically, it's this, I guess, journalist from The Guardian that's going on and on about how Americans are counting their wins from the Olympics wrong. Most of the world, apparently, the Olympics included, only count the gold medals to see who's leading in terms of wins at the Olympics. But America counts all of their medals, which threw a lot of people into confusion because if you go to the official website for the Olympics to look at the medal counts, they have a gold count and they have a total medals count.
They have a count for each medal.
And when you're looking at who they've got placed as number one in terms of medal wins, they look at your total count.
Yes.
So
That's how it always has been done. I don't know what
They-
this person is talking about.
The Guardian posted that most of the world, including the Olympics, only looks at the gold medals, which was not accurate. So
No,
it was hilarious. But more than that,
that's
people
true
were like,
fake news.
"Why does Australia have beef with us? Like what?
Fake news.
What?
That's true fake news. It's fake news. They don't know what they're doing. Kambala is out there doing what she's doing. She's making them change things.
She changed from Asian to black.
She's from
She's
Asian to
changing all
black
this
now.
stuff.
So no.
Hilarious. Yeah, if you Google Olympic medal count right now, the country they put at the top is the U.S., and it's because we have 126 total medals. We're tied with China for gold. The only thing that puts us over is that we have more cumulative medals.
As always, it's us in China. China.
Is that always? I don't know if that's always.
Yeah, that's always. It's always America and China at the top.
Oh, for medals, you're saying?
Yes.
The other thing people are talking about is all the track and field stuff that's happening, how America's winning in a lot of those
Yeah,
sports.
because Jamaica's having, I don't know what's going on with Jamaica.
Honestly, I feel Jamaica got set up. There was a whole situation where like they were supposed to go to a warm-up area and they got barred from it. They said a last-minute rule change had occurred. And all of a sudden them and another American girl couldn't go to the warm-up space. The American girl ended up having to warm up somewhere else to make it to her meet on time. But the Jamaican girl wasn't able to do that and then had to pull out.
Yeah, Jamaica's, because track and field is Jamaica's bread and butter.
But they're also talking about like the African countries. It's also African countries' bread and butter.
It's mainly, they mean Jamaica.
Okay.
But yeah, that's Jamaica gets the majority of the goals in track and field, really.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's a lot of crazy things been happening in the Olympics this year.
It's just very funny, all the conversations that are happening. Like the conversation around Noah Lyles, the track
Sure.
person, who a while ago said that NBA players can't say that they're world champions because they're not. And NBA fans felt away.
Well, technically, as far as playing professional ball in the States, not really.
Because they're playing professional ball in the States.
Yeah,
they're not playing for the world. They're playing for the States.
But
it's just a factual statement.
In his defense,
it's not an opinion.
When they run track and field, they run against everybody in the world.
Yeah, that's why it's a factual statement and not an opinion.
So he's technically true.
Yeah, because it's a factual statement.
Yeah. So I don't understand the grief.
And then he won gold at the Olympics.
And then lost
NBA fans
but
were
then
mad.
He lost in his actual bread and butter, which is 200 meters.
Uh-huh. But he still has a gold medal.
But he has a gold. And the U.S. Olympic basketball team has a gold medal too.
They do. They cinched it by the skin of their teeth.
It don't matter. At the end of the day, when they do go up against the world, they win. I think he's talking about.
Not always.
Anywho, I think he's talking about them playing professionally in the States and saying they're world champions. But every sport says they're world champions. NFL.
Do they?
Yeah.
I don't. But granted, I don't follow sports like that. But I don't remember any marketing being like world champions.
Yeah.
49ers. I don't remember.
Yeah. It says it on their Super Bowl trophy. World champions.
This is for. I'm gonna look this up now. Why would it say world champion?
Baseball, same thing. World champions.
I have more questions.
Every championship in the States that's professionally says world champions.
Why would it say world champions though?
I don't know. That's what they've been doing since the dawn of time.
You're like that's just what it is.
Yeah. We all know they don't play anybody else in the world. We don't care.
The Super Bowl trophy doesn't say anything. It just has NFL on it.
It's world champions.
It's not just Super Bowl champions?
No, it says world champions.
Where does it say it?
San Francisco 49ers, they are the NFL world champions. That's what they say.
No, do they?
Yeah.
Am I just so used to it? I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. You're so used to it.
No, okay, so everything says Super Bowl champions. Super Bowl
it says Super
champions,
Bowl.
New England Patriots,
They
Super
but they
Bowl
when they announce them, they
champions.
call them the world champions.
I don't. Well, okay. Well, those are words though. You're saying it's printed somewhere, and it's not.
The same thing in NBA. It don't say it just says they just said they're world champions. It's not printed on the NBA
Do
championship.
they say it though?
Yes,
I don't know if
everybody
they
said it.
do it.
When the Yankees win the World Series, they call it the World Series.
They do call that the World Series. They
If they
do.
won the World Championship.
They do call the baseball one the World Series.
See what I'm saying?
But
Everybody
the
does
conversation is around basketball, and I honestly don't remember where they say
it. He
world
said
champion.
because he's black. That's why he used basketball. That's the first thing popped in his head was basketball. But you can say it for any
He
sport.
didn't say this out of nowhere. Somebody was saying, oh, he was basically saying that like the fans that basketball has is not going to be the fans that track and field have.
No, because the fans of basketball have is going to be bigger.
That's what he was saying.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, they are world class athletes, and he's like, they are not. So like,
Oh, that's what he. Okay, that's a different. Well, then that's a different conversation.
it's the same conversation they've been having. So
But technically, they're all world athletes. They are. They just don't compete against the world.
So that is what a lot of discourse on the internet is. It's them saying, yes, they are world class athletes. But other people are like, for you to be a world class athlete, you have to compete against the world. And our local teams do not do that. The Olympic team, sure. Our local teams, no.
They're still part of a world, a planet, a system. So they're still world class athletes. Now, do they compete against the world every day? No.
So you're saying they're world class athletes, so we're world class athletes as well, because technically we live in the world.
No.
I go to the
we
gym.
don't do anything with sports.
I go to the gym. I lift.
Being in the gym has nothing to do with nothing.
Athletes have to go to the gym. They have to train.
Javon, you're not training for anything.
I'm training to be strong.
And that's the end of what happened with Joe today. Thank you guys for listening. I have
I'm
a
just
rant.
saying,
I have a rant I want to go on.
I agree that NBA teams outside of our Olympic team that they gathered are not world athletes. They're U.S. athletes.
Are there world athletes? Yes. Are there technically world athletes going against the world every day? No. I understand what he's saying. I get it. But let's stop it, sir. You're mad because you're not as big as and more known because you travel around the world doing your job as these guys for staying in the States the year round.
He's not mad. Somebody was coming for him.
He's upset.
He didn't say anything. He didn't bring this up. Somebody else came for him.
Javon, that was a shot. That was a shot.
But it was correct. It's not, again, it wasn't an opinion. It was a factual statement.
But he took a shot.
Is it a shot?
Yeah.
Is it? How?
He took a shot.
How is it a shot?
It was a backhand. It was a backhanded compliment.
What part of it was a compliment?
It was an insult.
How?
It was a semi insult.
And the other thing is, the NBA players agreed with him. The people who are mad, fans. That's who's mad. That's who's upset. That's who are saying, "Oh, it's a backhanded compliment."
Yeah, because
fans.
Technically,
the NBA players themselves are like, "No, yeah."
Yeah.
So
they know they're not. They don't go against other worlds.
I just find it funny that the people who don't play professionally, nor would they be considered world-class athletes, are the ones who are upset.
But they're always the ones who get overly upset about things.
Calvin, you just joined them and said that he was trying to do a clapback.
No, he did take a shot, Javon. I'm just saying he took a shot. I didn't say he was wrong or he was messed up.
You were about to go on a rant about how he needs to mind his business.
No.
And just stay mad about not being popular.
No.
You were about to go on that rant.
No, I wasn't. You once again, you assumed because you want me to feel like I'm taking a shot.
Okay, we will re-listen to this recording at some point.
Whatever we always do, and it doesn't change anything.
Okay.
Anywho, I get what he's saying, but it's always going to be the fans who get more upset than the players or the people invested in the thing that they're talking about.
I just find it funny how your story changes, with how the information changes. That's hilarious.
No, but this is the truth. Your opinion should change when you get more information.
Okay. All right, Calvin. As we are in the world and world-class athletes, what's your rant?
No, you're not a world-class. I'm not a world-class athlete. I do nothing.
We are of the world.
I'm not a professional athlete. Okay, let me clear it up then. For a professional athlete in the world, they're a world-class athlete.
So that breaker from Australia is a world-class athlete?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if that's the standing, we are world-class athletes, Calvin,
No.
as people in the world.
Hey,
My sport is breaking.
first of all, I didn't make breaking an Olympic sport. That's where the disconnect comes. That's where the madness starts.
I'm just saying.
But she showed me a video of the Australian female doing breaking or breakdancing, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna try out for the American Olympic breakdancing team next year. If she can, yeah, if she can, damn it, I can. She did nothing that was remotely.
You should see
breaking to
the
me.
clips of her coach, like trying to support her.
And they want to talk about DEI. That's DEI right there. That's diversity and equity, inclusion right there.
I don't understand how.
Is a person, a female.
Australia's notoriously racist. So
it's a female who can't dance.
How is that DEI?
Being allowed to do and perform in the sport where she shouldn't be in.
Of color who represents Australia working overtime. Working overtime to be like, it's not all of us. It's not all of us. I can break for real.
Anywho, that man had to make up for
he was
country
spitting for his life.
He had to. He had to.
He said, let me show you all the flips and tricks.
Exactly.
Because I can do this.
Let me show you what we actually learned. Let me show you what we actually learned.
Don't be dissuaded, okay? We know what breaking is.
Stop it. Don't go by what she did. Because we did not teach that. We did not learn that. I don't know what song she had in her head that she was listening to, but we did not learn that.
That man was breaking for his life.
That man turned into a helicopter on his neck.
What I gotta do. Look, I will do it.
I'm like, okay, sir, we get it.
These legs in the air.
We get it, sir. We get it. It's not you. It's not y'all. It's just her. We get it.
For me, it's the lady coach trying her best to stick up for the girl afterwards in all the interviews. She's like, we're very disappointed with how the internet has trolled and just gone after Rachel, who's the name of the breaker.
In her defense,
she is the best breaker that we have in Australia for our women. People were like, oh no.
Oh my God.
She is?
In her defense, it's
confidence.
The person who won, now she was better, but yeah.
Oh, her round. Because the person who ultimately won is a girl out of Japan.
Yeah, but I thought she would be way better than what she was. To be from Japan, that's what they do.
Did you see it? Did you watch it?
I might have. I'm sorry. I might have watched the Korean girl.
Because the Japan girl was good. She was really good.
I might have watched the Korean.
And she
girl.
won worlds.
I'm sorry. I watched the Korean girl. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It was the Korean girl. She was fine. She was way better than the Australian girl. But I was like, ugh.
I felt a way about watching the whole ceremony, though. Breaking, being introduced as a sport, it's fantastic. But also all of the do-rags.
The caucasity of all the do-rags. And the way...
The Kangol hats that everybody had for no reason. The T-shirts that were supposed to be jerseys instead of it just being a jersey. The two MCs.
Judges.
Both from France.
The judges.
Both not black. It was just like, oh.
The
judges panel was all white people. I was like,
Kangos and jumpsuits.
I feel a way.
Oh, windbreakers. And windbreakers and jumpsuits.
I feel a way about this.
Just standing there like, this is what they do.
That's hip hop. I'm like, oh no.
Like this is their legacy. I'm like, man.
Okay.
I don't even know how they got Olympic sport before softball, baseball, and football.
Because France loves it. And they're like, we're not going to have the Olympics here unless you let us do breaking.
And I guarantee you that's exactly what happened. And I guarantee you that's exactly what happened. Because European and Europe, like hip hop, like hip hop. Mm-hmm. That's what they do. They love that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like they're
purely aesthetics, yes.
They're like 20, 30 years behind where we are in hip hop.
Yeah, but they love it.
Absolutely. So that's authentic to them.
They're like, have you heard the latest Furious 5? Like, what do you mean?
So
what do you mean, the latest one?
They're at least in the 90s. Let's stop. They're at least in the 90s.
Calvin, did you watch the breaking? Did you watch it?
Javon,
did you watch the breaking?
The dancing is in the 80s, but the music is at least in the 90s.
The music they played was not 90s music.
All I'm saying is, I think, yeah, you're right. I think it was France. Reason why the breaking became an Olympic sport. Yeah. I do believe that.
We will not host it unless you let us. Well, football's coming for 2028.
It should have already been there. Same thing with softball and baseball. I don't know why they're not Olympic sports.
First of all, baseball is a forever game, so I can see why. Baseball takes forever.
They can
forever.
They can adjust rules just like they adjust rules for every other sport.
Is cricket an Olympic sport?
Yeah.
I think that's close enough.
It's not baseball.
It's close enough.
It's not baseball.
There's a paddle.
Whatever.
You got to hit stuff. There's a catcher.
And I'm done.
But yeah, other than feeling like I was a victim of some kind of racialized behavior watching the breaking situation, it was fun. It was still fun. America did manage to place in the men's division. We got a bronze. But depression. So
that's hilarious.
It's depressing. And he's not even from New York. Depressing. So
I'm not shocked by that.
I'm like, we missed our golden era. That dude from Breaking the movie, he would have won gold for us. He would have won gold for us.
If breaking was Olympic event in the 80s, we'd have killed it. we probably were the only country doing it, but we'd have killed it.
Right. So anywho, so all that's going on. All right, moving on to the shows. Unless you got anything else you want to add.
Of course not. I'm done.
Okay. So your rant was the Australian one?
Yes.
Poor lady. Oh, that poor woman.
So called Cassidy for her to get out there and think she was doing it and she was killing.
Calvin, the way was yawning.
She looked at the other competitor, yawned.
She was shaking her head and her hand like this is some BS.
Like she has no skills. And then she got on the floor and started. That's what I do with my back itches. When I want to scratch my back on the floor.
You haven't even seen the edits. Have you seen the stuff where they show like white people dancing? All you hear is like the sneaker noises.
No.
Like that little squeak, squeak, squeak noise. You haven't seen any videos that have that little noise?
No, I haven't seen videos. That's the first time I've seen any video.
On TikTok, if there's a white person who decides they're going to get brave and decide to dance and it's terrible, they'll cut all the sound out and it just sounds like sneakers scuffing the floor.
I've seen one of those before.
So it's that sound to that poor lady trying to break dance.
All I know is, like I said, she did some stuff I would do when I just lay on the floor.
People are like, this is what my toddler does. People were saying, this is Stuart from Mad TV. Look what I can do.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Look what I can do. Look what I can do.
So bad. It was so bad. Oh, this poor lady. Anywho. All right. So do you want to do our worth the watch and jump into the 90-Day Fiance Happily Ever After ridiculousness? Or you want to talk about the other shows? What do you want to do?
Let's keep it in the same order we did last week.
I don't remember what that order was.
Oh, then let's start with worth the watch.
Okay, so
that's what we do anyway.
We found a way to watch 90-Day Fiance Happily Ever After season 8.
Screw you, TLC.
Part 2. Oh, off the podcast. Let's see if you could ask our sometimes a news contributor if they have a cable subscription and could we link it. Anywho, that's a story for another time.
Well, she's gonna hear it anyway. So if you do, let us know.
By the time she hears it, we'll have needed it. Anyway, 90-Day Fiance Happily Ever After Part 2 because they're stringing it out for 5 parts. Oh my God, I don't know how Michael's alive. Do you want to start with Ed and Liz, or the couples that didn't have much going on first?
We started the couples that didn't have much going on.
So, Thais and Patrick, nothing's really happening over there. Patrick's giving terrible advice, basically, and they're just here to watch, like the rest of us. Lauren and Alexi, our OG 90-Day Fiance couple, also didn't have much going on in terms of like the two of them. But Lauren gives Michael some terrible advice, gets herself put into it, and also apparently has beef with Ed.
First of all, I don't know how she didn't know that wasn't going to work, what she told Michael.
Because she doesn't watch the show. So.
But she was on with Angela. She's from the her and Angela started at the same time.
No, they didn't. She started first.
Yeah, and then Angela
came on later, but I don't think they interacted like that. But Lauren kind of, the way the show portrays it, Ed says that Lauren sees herself as like a relationship expert because her marriage is going seemingly well. So that's why he thinks Lauren got into it. Basically, she was like, it's communication and it's showing affection. Because that's exactly what she tells Michael. You need to show her affection and you need to communicate. And Michael's like, okay. And then Michael tries to do this.
No, Michael told her.
Does not work.
No, first Michael told her, like, I don't think you know what I'm dealing with.
He doesn't say that at all.
He's like, he just shakes his head like he normally does. He's like, he's like, okay, sure, I'll try.
We'll get to them though. So she gives some terrible advice. It does not go well. She tries to save Michael. It also does not go well. Oh, and then her and Ed get to it. Her and Ed have beef because apparently at some point, Lauren was doing interviews for the show, and she was straight up asked by an interviewer, does she like Ed? And she was like, no, I don't like the way he treats women. Did you know of all of the harassment allegations that Ed has been associated with?
No.
Outside of the show?
No.
There have been several women that worked with him. Because remember, he used to be a photographer?
Yes.
That had filed lawsuits against him.
Wait. Yeah, I heard something about one of them. I think he did one during the first season he was on.
Where he's married to that Filipino girl.
Yeah. He's chasing that Filipino girl. I think he did a picture with somebody. And the Filipino girl said something about him trying to hook up with that girl he was taking pictures of.
Well, he had an assistant, and apparently that assistant filed a lawsuit about harassment charges.
Yeah.
Then there was somebody who there's several women that had these allegations against Ed.
Okay.
And they kind of all came out, and then they all got quiet. So either they got paid off, or like Ed said, none of it was real. I think they got paid off. So
9 times out of 10, people get paid off.
So Lauren was when Lauren was asked by the interviewer if she liked Ed, she was like, no, I don't like Ed. I don't like the way he treats women.
Yeah, he's a dick.
He's televised dick. So
he's a scrotum.
Ed, of course, had to have a comeback because reasons. And he was like, well, Lauren is a bottom feeder. She only is relevant when she's talking about me. I don't know how that is accurate, but that's what he says. And it affects Lauren. She gets really upset by the fact that he thought he could go there. And he's like, well, you never apologized to me. And I don't know what she was expecting. I don't know if she thought this was going to clear the air or that he was going to apologize, because he wasn't. He tripled down on it, and they just start fighting. And they take that fight later into the show with Sean's messy self.
And apparently Ed's like, you can never say that to my face. You said it behind my back. And she gets up into his face, I don't like you.
The way I would be telling no neck jokes left and right. Anyway.
My thing is,
it takes Alexi to be like, both of you stop. Both of you stop.
And I was like, yes, sir. I'll stop. I'm like, I'm not even doing anything. Don't yell at me.
He never gets loud. So it's like, whoa, wait a second.
But this is what I was going to say. I don't understand why him calling her a bottom feeder got to her so bad. The stuff that gets to people sometimes, to me, is like, it's
a very random thing for you to get mad set about.
Set up, yeah. Mm-hmm. You got to set up for that.
Well, but my thing is emotions, they're all tied to different experiences, and we don't know a whole person at all.
I thought he called her a cunt.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, oh, okay.
Like something really derogatory.
Yeah, bottom feeder. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
Just shrugs.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
But again, that's you. That's not Lauren. Clearly, Lauren has something else that's going on. So
I shrug off a lot of things. I'm like, I don't.
Well, apparently so does Alexi, because he didn't bat an eye.
Yeah, because
so,
to me, I'm like
Ed was fully going for Lauren in the middle of that tell-all about how she's terrible, and Alexi didn't tell him to stand down. He didn't say that's my wife. He says both of you stop.
Yeah, because to me, it says more about you than me. That means I'm living rent-free in your head.
I just find it interesting because we had another conversation around a guy's wife who got beer dumped on her. And he didn't say anything. He just told her, let's go clean up in the bathroom. And you were like, he should have did something.
What I'm saying is he should have said something.
I'm just saying, Alexi chose to tell both of them. He scolded both of them.
He couldn't have scolded her because she didn't do anything.
But he did scold both of them.
What I'm saying in the beer incident, what is he going to scold his wife for? She didn't do anything. She got beer spilled on her.
My thing is, why wouldn't you think Alexi should stick up for his wife in that event? We know Ed's wrong. He
told both of them to calm down.
But why not stick up for his wife? She fully says, Ed called me a bottom feeder, and Alexi doesn't say anything. And it's not until they're yelling back and forth about it that he then says, both of you need to stop.
Yeah, I think it was on TV. I think because it was on TV, and he was like, both of you need to just calm down.
I just find it interesting how it's like a sometimesy thing.
No,
anyway.
That's because I don't... and two, he didn't feel like Ed was a threat anyway.
Okay.
So he was like, whatever.
The beer guys are threats?
I have to explain to you off the air
Okay.
because it's going to take too long. It's going to take way too long.
I'm just saying, it feels like I feel like it's similar in that her honor was being questioned.
I don't think
or it was being harmed in some way.
I
And
know.
Alexi chose a neutrality path, and that other situation, the guy also chose the neutrality path, but he was in the wrong.
No, he could have said something like Alexi said. He could have said, "Hey guys, could you calm down? You're wasting the beer on my wife." That's all I'm
If he
saying.
was going to be like Alexi, he would have scolded both of them.
What I'm saying that's all he could have said. I'm not saying he need to go up there and start choking motherfucker knocking the whole row out. I'm just saying he could have just said.
But Alexi doesn't.
And two, Alexi, he in his mind, she can handle Ed.
Okay.
And I think that's why. I think if it was another person like, let's say, Angela, he probably would have said neither because it's two females. I'm trying to think of a dude and a female. Like what's that guy with the Hispanic girl wife that his brother
There's
doesn't
a lot
like
of
her.
guys with Hispanic.
His brother Patrick, yeah. If it was Patrick, then I think he might have like
stepped in a little more.
Yeah, but it's Ed. I think he's like, Ed ain't that stupid.
I just thought it was interesting that he wasn't like, don't talk about my wife, like at all. Like she clearly had a confrontation with him before taping. And then they're on set and Sean brings up the subject again.
And two, I don't know what conversation they had off air for her to say, hey, I can handle Ed myself.
But the other thing is like them coming into the house at the beginning. She's like, oh no, Lauren's here. So clearly there was already bad blood around Lauren and Ed.
Yeah.
And that whole thing.
Yeah.
So that all of that was already present. So
I just think he's not worried about Ed. And he not worried about his wife handling herself around Ed.
Very interessante.
That's all I'm saying. And that's what I would say. And I'll end it there.
Okay. The other couple that really didn't have much going on was Rob and Sophie. Rob and Sophie is there. Rob decided to get real black with Michael to give some advice. All Rob really does is kind of try to give people advice for some reason.
I don't know why he all of a sudden he act like he dark skinned.
It was hilarious. Bro.
Yeah. Dog. Son. Yo, dog. Don't let her talk to you like that, B. I'm like, wait a minute. Why are you talking like that? I'm like, what are you talking like that?
Also, Michael is not from America. What's happening?
Exactly. I'm like, I don't know why you getting all New York.
All this slang all around all of a sudden.
Yo, son. Yo, dog. If she talk to me like that, son. If she talk to me like that, son.
This man's not even from New York.
Oh, my mama, son. Oh, my mama, dog. Word is bond.
It was just very
bong. I'm like, you are really getting dark skinned, sir.
But
stay in your light skin corner, please. Yeah, stay in your light skin corner.
We found out from them is one, Rob broke up with Sophie. I definitely thought Sophie broke up with Rob, but no, Rob broke up with Sophie. They're technically separated. They're technically married, but they're not living together. They've just recently kind of reconnected, but Sophie has not agreed to a consensual act of sex with Rob in a while. Rob says he turned her down once, and she's turned him down ever since. I don't want them to be a couple. So, yeah.
I think that was the one time she was really vulnerable, and he said no.
He's an ass.
Yeah, and it affected her. So now you get what you give.
It's so crazy. And then, I'm trying to think of the other. Kobe and, what's-her-face, Emily.
They pretty much go and talk about their relationship, how they met, how she's bossy. And
they talk about how Kobe might have been in a relationship with somebody else when he got with Emily.
It don't matter. They weren't together. They were just having sex.
Well, it mattered to the storyline of like the best friend trying to get in between them. That's the whole point of that.
Yeah, and
we meet Kobe's best friend. They loop him into the tell-all because he does not like Emily. They're like, let's expound on that.
That's how he finds out his friends told her that he was still in a relationship with another girl when he messing with her.
Right, but it doesn't faze him at all.
And then they brought on Emily's parents, and then everybody started crying, which is soft.
It was adorable because Emily's parents did not like Kobe at first, so this was quite the turnaround. But also that again, Emily's pregnant with another one of their children. They already have two.
And the whole big fight that's going to come up is the fact that he wants to name the child after his best friend.
Right. If it's a boy, they don't know the sex of the child. So if it's a boy, he wants to name the child after his best friend,
which leads me to believe
who doesn't like Emily.
Exactly. Which leads me to believe they probably had a bet saying whoever has a child first, like the 5 heartbeats.
But
the two brothers.
He already has 2 boys, so
he does.
Why would it be a bet about the first child? He already has 2 children.
None of them named after Mike.
No, his best
Kobe?
friend. No.
Well then, why? So now, why do you want to name after him now? Now you just killed my only defense I have for you of why you want to do this, the 5 heartbeat defense. Now I can't even use that. So why do you want to name him after him?
Who knows?
And his name sucks, by the way.
What's his name? Like Valerie or something like that?
Valerie sucks. Something stupid.
I don't know. But yeah. So all that's happening.
It's too stupid to remember. How about that?
What else? So of the couples, and then like I said, Patrick and Thais, nothing's really happening. So those are all the couples. Well, I'm forgetting Ashley and Manuel. Again, also nothing really happening right now.
No, they're not even on them yet.
Right. So that leaves us with Ed and Liz, Jasmine and Gino, and Michael and Angela. Which one you want to talk about?
So Ed and Liz, pretty much.
They kind of finished where they left off from the part 1 of the tell-all.
Yeah, they go through whatever.
Except Jason's now at the house. Liz's new boyfriend is now going to be staying with her at the house because, of course.
And their relationship seems kind of icky, but the only reason
people are saying it's fake. Like it's put on.
It seems that way because they're going overboard to show that they're together to make Ed feel bad.
Yeah.
To throw it in Ed's, they're trying to throw it in Ed's face, which I really don't blame her.
Right.
I don't even.
Right.
But I can see why it seems cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
Because even I'm like, okay, y'all doing too much. But you know what? Screw it. Everybody's doing too much in this damn house. So
enjoy yourselves.
Do the most. Yeah. So
and he does. He's like, I can't wait to be on her. They're talking about how like he about to get it in with her. He picks her up from the girls to carry her to bed so they can get it in.
Like an animal.
It's hilarious. But you know what I enjoyed? That he was speaking to Manuel in Spanish. He's like one of the few people that actually speak Spanish.
Also, Ed and Liz at the dinner table get into this.
It was random. It was because they weren't even talking about it at all. They were talking about what was going on with
Angela and Michael. And then
Ed's like,
Ed just...
Excuse me, I know this is off topic, but my sister's on the phone to talk about how Liz acted at the taco dinner.
And no one cared. Everybody's like, what does that have to do with anything right now?
But his sister also didn't really support his argument at all.
No, she said she's pretty much acting like she's acting now. And the black girl, what's her name?
Ashley.
Ashley's like, so she's acting like she's acting
now.
So normal. She's like, pretty much, yeah.
Like she's upset, but she's not screaming and throwing things.
So now Ed is upset because now he looks even more stupider.
Yes.
And
he's He's like, don't talk over me. Listen to what my sisters say.
The whole point of him trying to interjecting his sister here was frivolous.
First of all, it came out of nowhere. Secondly, it didn't prove anything. Thirdly, his sister didn't even want to be on the phone.
Exactly.
So.
She didn't want to be a part of this whole thing, this train wreck anyway. So that's pretty much Ed and...
What did you think about Ed saying that Liz is a sloppy partner in sex? I didn't understand that statement. I didn't understand it. I don't understand how that's a diss. I'm confused.
Some people don't like to get wet when they're making the love.
What is neat sex then? What that look like?
Some people don't like the love juices all over them.
I'm just saying, what is clean,
seductive,
like organized sex then? What's that look like? What is that?
You still have on your tops and no bottoms,
full clothes.
You go
imagination. It didn't make any sense.
It's like hunching when you were a kid.
But then it prompts Liz to be like, well, at least, Jason doesn't watch incest porn and have a small dick. It was hilarious.
Which I don't know why he didn't think the small dick thing was coming.
Every
man saw that coming from a mile away. That's hysterical. That's every woman's clap back.
And then her saying that she's so glad she can be with somebody that she can look up to morally and physically. Hilarious.
So,
But again, the no neck jokes that I would be making. The way that I would be on one side of him and then quickly go to the other side and be like, why aren't you looking at me? Oh. Anyway.
Barney Rebel. So
that was Ed and Liz. Jasmine and Gino real quick. They're still talking about how Gino is not giving it up for Jasmine. And to my surprise, his family is fully on Jasmine's side about this. They're like, "You're really not treating her well." I was like, "Oh,
Which
okay,
was
wow."
funny because before she got there, she believed all of them hated her.
Well, but it was supported by the fact that remember when he got his cousin on the phone when they were doing 90 Day the Other Way?
Yeah.
He basically reestablished that he just thought Jasmine was a gold digger. His wife thought the same thing. Jasmine's cousins, or not Jasmine, Gino's cousins, all said the same thing. They showed us the receipts from Instagram of them saying that to her on posts. And now all of a sudden, they're on Jasmine's side. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I wonder what happened. Because that was complete 360.
And again, we didn't watch the season, so there's it might have been established in the season.
Even in the season, in the season they show how his cousin's wife, the one that was on the tell-all, her and Jasmine was talking, and she was on Jasmine. That's what I told you. I'm like, I don't know what happened, but Gino's family is on Jasmine's side.
Jasmine is a likable person.
Well, I said Gino's cousin wife is on Jasmine's side, so I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but seemed like his family's turning against him.
It's very interesting. I don't know why I pressed that button. Anyway, I think that's really it for them, right? They're talking about how they haven't been intimate in like 5 months.
Yeah, and then they finally started talking. They slept in the same bed together, but she slept on the couch because she didn't want to entice him because he was drunk, and she wanted him to come to her and his
Not
own
entice
volition.
him because that wouldn't have. She didn't want to start anything. She didn't want to be the instigator. She wanted him to approach her, and he was drunk.
And he felt he valued that respect. So they're in a good place.
I think they're moving to a good place. I don't think they are in a good place.
You know what I mean? Same thing. It seems like they're in a good place right now.
But it is also Patrick and the other dudes, the dude bros, being like, "Why don't you just fuck her,
bro?
Just bone her, dude."
I'm not gonna lie. Sex can solve a lot of issues.
Oh gosh.
But this caveat: if you're good at it,
oh gosh,
it can solve a lot of issues.
Here's my other question though: is like, for as long as we've been watching Jasmine and Gino, that's been a complaint of hers. It's been a complaint of hers that like her sex drive and his sex drive do not match. So I am wondering what she thought was going to change after they got married, and after she moved, or maybe she was thinking it was because of the distance, because we weren't seeing each other every day. That was what was adding to it.
No, I think she just thought that's how it was gonna be when they see each other the whole time. I don't know why she thought that though.
All right.
But I can understand why she kind of thought that. That's his fault.
All of it's Gino's fault. All right.
Pretending to be something you aren't.
But Gino gets, some advice from Patrick.
I'll take it.
It's very interesting. Which leads us to Angela and Michael, the meat of the part 2 of the series. So they were barely in the first part because they arrived last as a couple to the show. We actually didn't see them until after they did their taping for the first part of the tell-all. Then they finally get to the house. Angela, for all intents and purposes, really does look genuinely upset. She's genuinely upset about the situation she's got with Michael. Why are you frowning at me?
Because,
I said upset. I didn't say wronged. I said upset.
Oh, okay. Yeah. She lives in the land of upset.
She's definitely the mayor.
She's the president.
But she's like
the dictator.
Like bitter, screaming at him at the drop of a dime upset.
That's what it is. It's bitterness. It's like
it's rage and bitterness.
Rage and bitterness. And I didn't think you could put those two things together.
Of course you can.
Not like that.
Because she's miserable. Yeah, you absolutely can.
She's miserable because she wants to be a miserable person.
Misery loves company, and what comes with that can be bitterness, rage, all the fun things that come with anger and sadness.
I don't know how she does it. My heart would stop.
Holding all that all the time.
Yeah. My blood pressure.
It is. So we're watching this like, when did Michael flee to freedom? Because is that why she's mad? Is this after he had fled and then I guess came back for the taping? But we found out recently that they did the taping in January and he fled to freedom in February. So clearly this was on the rise, I guess on the horizon for her.
Pretty much all she did was yell the whole time.
She could not stand him. She didn't want him anywhere near her. And then she was mad that he was not anywhere near her.
So here's what happens. So like Javon said, what's her name?
Lauren.
Lauren told him to go over there, talk to her, and
show affection.
Show affection.
Yeah.
She's playing pool. She's talking to the dudes. She says, see right, he's over there. He's not being affectionate.
Ignoring me,
not being affectionate, not showing me any attention, not doing anything. As soon as she says this, here comes Michael.
Well, that's the edit. We don't know how soon he came after she said it. Because the other thing about the edit is we see some stuff go backwards afterwards.
So Michael comes over, just like she said she wanted.
But she don't want it.
Now all of a sudden, she's yelling, "Get the hell away from me."
Yeah.
You know why I'm mad. I'm like, no, I don't.
Get yourself and get out.
Yeah. And
You're not staying with me tonight.
And this is when Lauren starts to cry. She's like, I did not know it was going to go.
So south. It was going to go so wrong.
So fast.
Because it really did. We've seen Angela scream at him before, but this is like another level of anger.
I'm literally
people are scared she's going to do something to Michael.
I'm literally going to go back and watch this season now. Because there's an episode in there where she literally spits in this man's face.
There's a clip where she takes a bite of what looks to be like a rib and then spits that food at him.
And her daughter's sitting right there and acting like it's his fault.
Well, in the tell-all, the daughter fully supports her mom. She's like, he wasn't affectionate. He only used her for money. But my thing is, they've been saying that rhetoric the entire time.
And he's been right by her side.
That they have been
entire time
together. So if he was not doing any of this, why did you stay married? Why did you get married? So many questions.
And then why'd you bring him to the States?
So many questions.
She brought him to the States just to berate him. And I don't know why she thought he was going to stay around. It's one thing to...
I have a theory that she knew he wasn't going to. And I think that added to her misery. My theory is that while Michael was still in Nigeria, she still had control over their relationship. Fully. She had full control over that relationship because he still wanted to come to the States and be with her. And as long as she could keep him there, with like the tether of like maybe one day you'll come to the States, she could keep controlling all the aspects of it. She could keep being the victim and she could keep saying what she wanted to say because he's not right there. Now that he's in the States, it's in her face that this is not something that's going to work or be sustainable, that he's eventually going to want to move on and find something else. And she hated that. So then her paranoia is at an all-time high.
It's not because he wants it, because of her. She's the reason.
She doesn't see herself as the reason. In her mind, that's not a valid reason. So, and then we have the whole cheating thing where apparently he was talking to somebody online who lived in Jersey, which is like further proof for her that he was going to leave her. And I think that was her ultimate fear, was she was going to get with somebody who would leave her.
I would leave you too if you yell at me every day.
Some people self-sabotage hard. So
her and Ed.
For real.
They're one and the same.
Which is why they agree with each other that Michael just wanted her for a visa. A visa?
So, and now from Michael's side of view, the reason Michael stayed, because when he was in Africa, she'll come up there and she'll yell at him, but he'll get a break because she's gone.
Yeah.
So now he'd be like, oh, maybe.
Also, in all of his retellings where he never says anything bad about her.
And that's the thing. He never badmouths her.
Right. He never called her out her name.
So if he didn't care about her,
he had plenty of opportunity to call her like a bitch, like at some point.
Yeah, and to tell all her business.
But he doesn't.
He doesn't. He respects her. He's like, she's going through some stuff, but that's her thing. I'll let her tell whatever. But from my aspect, even like we saw him on Entertainment Tonight or something like that.
Entertainment Tonight.
And he was like, she asked him, "Do you think
the show
Angela got on? Did it just to be famous to be on the show?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "I don't know if she did it to be on the show to be famous or not. I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think she genuinely wanted to be on the show. I don't know if she was doing it for this or that."
Mm-hmm.
He could have easily just thrown her under the bus
and
and
said,
yeah, whatever.
Of course.
But
yeah,
he was respectful, and he said, "I don't know. You have to ask her."
Right.
So that further lets me know, I think this dude actually, I don't know why.
I think he cared about her, yeah.
I don't know why. But he liked her and cared about her.
I think so.
That is the mystery of the world.
Yeah.
Why did he like her?
I think because she liked him. You know what I mean?
The person who figured that out can cure cancer.
No, I think I think he liked her because she liked him. I also think he knew like there was some familiarity in their relationship that he had already been exposed to. So he was like, even though this is chaos, it's chaos I know.
Michael could be on the spectrum.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But also, I think there was a part of him that was okay with all of that. To a point, clearly to a point, because at some point he's like, no, I gotta go. I gotta leave. So I'm interested to see how the show's going to address that. But yeah, Angela is mad verbally abusive and at times threatens to be physically violent with Michael repeatedly throughout the show. There's a scene where she goes outside to talk with Alexi, or I think Alexi just goes out to talk with her after her latest fight with Michael.
Because he's just laughing in his head. It's hilarious to him.
But when he comes back in, he agrees with her that Michael might have been using her to get a visa. And I was surprised. Because I'm like, he's another 90-day the other wayer. Like, you really think he would have stuck it in this long to just get a visa? That's a heck of a wait.
Sometimes somebody's crazy can alter your perception thinking process because it's so crazy, and you're like, there's no way.
It's gotta be something.
It's gotta be something. There's no way this person is this crazy. And I think that's what happened to him. I think that's what happened to him. He looked at her like, you're killing yourself, right?
Very interesting. It was insane. We've seen Angela upset and verbally abusive, but it was like there's a part in there where they're taping for the show, and there's a moment where Sean asks them a question directly about their relationship, and Michael is talking, and you can see Angela is taking everything Angela has to not snap at this man. She eventually breaks, but you can see it literally build up on her face. How she can't stand him.
It's a little thing. She's seething.
Yeah. Steam coming out of her ears. And Michael's just Michael. Like through all of that, through all of the insane humiliation he is facing being with her, he's still just Michael at the end of the day. He's still just this happy-go-lucky guy who's like, yeah, it is what it is. I'm trying my best. Like, that's his whole thing.
And I think that's what the breaking point was. She was destroying his happy-go-lucky self. I think he got depressed.
In my opinion, I think he finally had backup. That's what I think.
I think he got depressed.
I think he'd been depressed. But I think he finally had a sense of security and was like, okay, let me do this. So, because that interview he did with Entertainment Online, he looked great. Like, he looked so happy. He looked calm. He looked relaxed. So, it is interesting to see where this goes. But also, did you know Angela has a history of being on reality TV shows?
No.
She was on Maury Povich more than once. With her daughter. More than once.
Makes sense.
So.
Oh, looking for a baby father?
Of course.
Oh.
Of course. And she's her usual Angela style. She's yelling at the crowd. She's yelling at her daughter. She's yelling at Maury. Anywho. But that's it. That's it for the tell-all that we've got until we figure out how to watch the next episode. So we'll see. So after that, we've got Love After Lockup or Love the Other Way. I think we should knock out
Love the Other Way.
I agree, because it's real quick.
Just go ahead and just start with whatever you want to start with. It don't even matter.
We see Shekinah and Sarper. It's the follow-up aftermath of Shekinah talking with Sarper's ex to get more information about him.
Shekinah is... This whole thing is just as fake as her whole body, her face.
Oh, the storyline? Okay.
I'm
just saying, if it is fake, Sarper is a heck of an actor because he looks genuinely distraught.
No, I think Sarper is genuinely confused.
Okay.
I think he's literally confused because sometimes the way he looks at her like, I don't even.
Where's this coming from? Right.
Yeah. Why? And if we didn't talk about this or rehearse this. Mm-hmm. What?
Oh, that's what you think the reaction is?
Yeah, he's like, I don't even
wasn't
remember.
In the rehearsal?
Yeah, I don't remember even rehearsing this.
Oh, you think it's just surprise? It's not actual shock.
Yeah, I think he's like surprised. It could be, I think it's shock, but he's like, this is, you're on scene 5. I'm still on scene, we're supposed to be on scene 2 right now. What are you doing?
You're saying the wrong thing.
Yeah, you're saying that. Okay. I guess we're improvising now? Okay. I guess I'll try.
All right.
Like the lion that shaved his mane in the Serengeti. That's what I did for you to be with you. You know? I did that to be with you.
I think they're still trying to paint the whole Playboy storyline of him, like, he's because allegedly he cheated on her and yada yada yada.
First of all, he had on his best George Michael outfit from the Faith video, which was
George Michael's handsome,
hilarious.
I mean, it fits his aesthetic.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. It actually did.
It did. It fit it.
It literally did.
It did.
And like he stepped right out that video, right onto the
hello
to the world. Yeah.
It's not 1993 anymore, but I'm still here.
Take on me.
That is not even the Faith
video.
I
know. The same video too.
It's not even the same time period.
I know. I know music, Javon.
Then why?
I did it on purpose. You don't need to know why my madness. It's just my madness. Let me be mad.
What do you say? It's only got to make sense to one person.
Exactly. Only got to make sense to me. Only got to make sense to one person.
Anyway, so they're still playing the whole Playboy aspect for their storyline.
And it's getting old.
It's kind of being like, can I trust him? And it's like, girl, it's been years. Either you do or you don't.
Yeah. At this point, yeah. I don't.
And it started for being like, I really only care about you, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. And that's it.
When the moon is in the sky and it's dark, that's what I did. I love you. That's literally his comeback to her.
It is. It's all of these euphemisms where you're like,
that makes no sense.
But that's really all we get for Shekinah and Sarper. Josh and Lily. Josh is a controlling, crazy person. He meets Lily's badminton crew, her friends, and apparently he was jealous of her having badminton guy friends because she wouldn't answer his FaceTime calls when he calls her.
This lady,
I'm like, she has a life out. Clearly, she's got to make money.
First of all, honestly, for her, she takes it real seriously.
The badminton?
Yeah, they take it seriously.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
He said it's like the ping pong of China. I'm like, she's in China. She's in China.
Yeah, which didn't make sense when he said that. Now you said it didn't make sense when he said that. I'm like, it's
like the ping pong of China.
I'm like,
she's in China.
Like, aren't you living in China right now? Anywho, she takes it seriously, so I can understand why she don't answer her phone when she's playing. It's like me when I play all the time. If I'm hooping, I'm not answering my phone.
Right.
If somebody died, I will not know until I'm done.
But the other thing is, I can't revolve my life around my phone. I can't.
Not only that, I don't know why he thought those are young, like almost like pre-adults.
They look like pre-adults, but they're all her age.
Those dudes aren't in their 50s.
Those dudes and that lady are all her age.
She's in her 60s.
Yeah, she's in her 60s.
They're not in their 60s. There's no way. Two of them look like they were almost damn near 16, 17.
They are.
Stop. I don't believe it.
Because they're playing in the senior league. That's her team.
I think they're helping them practice. I think that was that lady's son, and they were helping them practice.
Her best friend, which is that girl, is in her age group. I don't know if they're exactly the same age, but they're in the same age group. That lady's husband was one of the dudes that she plays with. Okay? And then the other dude was that dude's best friend. They're all in the same age range.
I got to look at it again.
So anyway.
I swear the first two dudes she introduced.
I'm just saying, Asians age differently as well.
One could have been.
The youngest person there was her husband. Was Josh.
I need evidence. Okay. I need dates. I need names. I need social securities.
Anyway, we find out that Josh was mad suspicious of Lily. And apparently he used to question her loyalty all the time. Like if she didn't immediately answer a text, a phone call, a voice, face call, whatever, he would immediately throw in her face that he loved her more than she loved him. Or that it was clear that she liked him but wasn't in love with him. And like just would say backhanded things to like further downgrade her and devalue her.
Now I see why she makes the backhanded comments she does. It makes sense now. Because in her mind, maybe that's his love language.
Well, he says it is. Remember? They're one of those couples where like they talk shit to each other.
So all she did was meet him where he was.
It's terrible and not sustainable. Anyway, but Lily basically they have this whole conversation, and Lily's like, "You've met the guys now. You know, I really didn't like those conversations where you completely thought that I was not loyal to you, and I would appreciate in the future if we refrain from using that kind of language with each other." And he says okay, but he's still mad about the whole her throwing it in his face that she spent all this money.
And maybe he needs to
Get
sit
over it,
down
Josh.
and tell her that he doesn't like that.
Ridiculous. We don't see any Corona and Inky, but I'm excited for next week because it's her maybe relinquishing the reins of her soft partnering, quote unquote, that she's been doing with Inky. He is not prepared. Stellar and Dempsey. What the hell?
Don't know what's going on. Statler. Okay, if
Statler has arrived to meet Dempsey. I think they're in what, France?
Yeah, I don't even know.
I think they're in France.
And she was, yeah, because she flew into Paris.
Yeah.
And she was a complete asshole the whole entire time. As
soon as she touched ground.
As soon as she touched ground.
Dempsey's all excited. She's like, I haven't seen her. It's almost like I've seen her for the first time. Statler gets off that plane and she is in a mood immediately. She's like, yeah, whatever. Hi.
It's my ADHD and my.
She's like, it's my. Autism. She's like, I'm overwhelmed. My battery is depleted. She talks about how she deals with anxiety. She has social anxiety. She's technically an introvert. Plus, she found out she's on the spectrum. She's neurospicy. All of these things she says are all factors into why she's not exactly happy to see Dempsey. But then she finishes it with, additionally, I have a lot of doubts about the fact that I have accrued all of this debt. Dempsey might be using me for my money, and my best friend has planted doubt in my head that Dempsey's just doing this so that she can be in a van.
So if you believe
hard eye roll,
sit your in the spectrum.
ADHD heaven. Anxiety-ridden self down.
Anxiety-ridden self down and be by yourself.
She's been complaining about it being a bad idea since our show started, since before she left. Clearly, she had a lot of these doubts. And when she did bring them up with Dempsey, it was also established they had this conversation more than once. And every time, Statler decided to move forward with the plan. So confused. All around confused.
So this is why I'm upset with Dempsey. If we had this discussion more than 3 times, the third time should have been, you know what, just forget it. Mm-hmm. We're done. Mm-hmm. Or I'm just going to do what I need to do and move on.
Mm-hmm. Naturally, I take the opposite approach, and I absolutely put the blame on Statler because I feel like Statler's had numerous opportunities to also pull out and just be like, this is not it for me. This is not it for me. We saw in 90 Day the Other Way, or was it, no, before the 90 Days, I think is the show they were on.
Yes.
They're not on the same page about anything when it comes to longevity of their livelihood with each other. Like building a life together, they're not on the same page about anything.
So that's why I said Dempsey should have just called it off.
And that's why I said Statler should have did the same thing. So
to me,
they haven't though.
They both in the wrong, but to me, I think Dempsey is more aware.
I disagree.
But then you're right. She isn't because she's still going along with it. So whatever.
But then again, to be fair to you, they both are. So also, yeah. But it ends with them trying to get these taxis. Dempsey's like, all right, so we're taking 2 taxis. One of them has all of my stuff because she sold her caravan. They're supposed to be getting their van that they're going to be living in right after Statler's landed and then get settled and begin their journey together in this van life.
In Statler's little defense, they did lose all her stuff.
She gets off the plane with her carry-on, and Dempsey's like, where's your luggage? And she's like, gone. They lost it. They're going to mail it to me later.
I'm going to be honest with you. Okay. I don't really think I think they showed her getting her stuff ready. I don't think she put all this stuff on that plane.
I disagree. I mean, I don't disagree. I agree with you. Yes, I agree.
I think she put that stuff back in her friend's car and just took the small
just
things.
In case she has to come back.
Just in case she has to come back.
I agree. And her friend would mail her stuff if it's going to work out.
Yeah, because I'm like, they said they mail it to you. I'm like, they don't do that. They need an address to send your stuff
or
to.
they make you come back to the airport.
Yeah, you got to come back to the airport. So they can verify
your ID.
Verify and come get it. Because I've had my bag lost, and they brought it to the house. Mm-hmm. So when she said that, in the back of my mind, I'm like,
that's weird.
Something about that doesn't make sense.
Right.
But I'll come back to it eventually.
Right.
But something about what she just said, mailing to me, doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Something about that process doesn't work in my head. But I'll come back to it because the rest of this, she's getting on my nerves.
She's like, I want to shower. I want to lay down. I want to have a nap because I've been traveling for so long. But no, we got to go get this van right away.
Also,
yeah, girl.
The van that pulls up would have pissed me off too.
Again,
I'm looking for a RV, something like that.
Again, in my opinion, Statler was well aware of what the fuck kind of van this is because she got the loan to put a down payment on this van. You're telling me she did all that sight unseen? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense.
I wouldn't put it past her.
A Google search on van life shows you the vans that people use and trick out to do this kind of like, what do they call it, nomad lifestyle. They're not huge. They're not on the outside. They don't look big at all. The inside, they basically work with that tiny space and make that space functional and try to make it work. And it can look really nice in there. The issues with van life, though, is the cost, the ongoing cost to maintain your van life. What's a safe space to stay overnight? Where's a safe space to get stuff charged? Money to put fuel in that van, money for maintenance because you're traveling nonstop. It's not like your regular car. Those add up quite quickly. Yes, you can still have a very wonderful experience, but you also are living on the road. So
on the road again.
And stuff happens that you got to then figure out how to fix. So all of that. Also, a lot of these vans don't have bathrooms. Fun time stuff. And Statler, as we know, Statler's got a nervous tummy.
Take that.
So that's what's happening, Statler and Dempsey. On to our main event, James and Tata. James made it to Indonesia. And him and Tata are going to stay in a hotel for a couple of days while things get sorted. And by things, they mean finally telling the parents that they're formally moving to Indonesia permanently. And can James get a job at the banana chip factory?
So James gets there. They get in a motorcycle seat.
That is not a motorcycle.
What is it?
A tuk-tuk.
A tuk-tuk?
So it's like an open air. It's more a moped than it is a motorcycle. It's like a hairdryer.
It's like they put like a mini sofa in front of a motorcycle.
Basically.
And you just sit there, and he goes,
where am I going to put all my stuff? And she's like, we're going to pile it up in our laps.
In your lap, sir. Put that big ass
dangerously. Let's go.
In your lap.
There's no seatbelts. Hang on.
Hilarious.
But they do it. It works.
So, pretty much, he's going to see where he's going to be seasoning banana chips at the table he'll be using.
They're like, we use chocolate. We use salt. We use all kinds. Calvin was like, I told you they flavor those banana chips. But you know what? I told Calvin, that is Mr. Banana Chip. He doesn't run a little ramshackle shack.
Well, she was right. He is the Amazon Prime of banana chips in Indonesia. Apparently.
He lives in an Indonesian White House.
He's the iPhone or the Apple of banana chips.
He's the Bill Gates of banana chips.
In Indonesia. Because his house, first of all, is like a gutted White House.
It is.
It's like if you went by the White House in D.C. And just imagine it being gutted or them trying to fix stuff up. That's literally what it looks like.
Renovated.
Renovated, yeah. That's what it looks like.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, okay. I apologize for insulting your
Mr. Banana Chips.
Is that your banana chips empire? I did not know.
So they're like, this is the first time that James is going to be meeting my family in my hometown. I'm like, you guys have been married for 5 years. How is this the first time?
Actually doing banana chips at our house, too. I'm going to start that franchise.
I'm in the wrong business.
I need
to get into banana chip business.
Evidently, it's lucrative
in Indonesia.
Yeah.
And the industry. Hilarious. But yeah, so, there's a whole story where Melita's like, this is the first time James is meeting my family in my hometown. And I'm confused because James has been with her for about 5 years. And he met her parents in Indonesia. But she's like, that was someplace else because they were on a work trip. Okay.
Sure.
So then they're like getting little stuff for him. And she's like, let's tell my parents tonight that we're planning to move here. And he's like, don't you think that's a little soon? And I want to shake this person so hard at this point. 'Cause what do you mean? What do you mean? Do you think it's too soon? Your money's going to run out. How long do you think you should wait? Or why do you think waiting will make it a softer blow? I'm
I
confused.
I don't think I figure out, but I figured out James's stick or shtick.
Hmm.
James's stick is to get with women who will control him or
Make all the decisions for him.
control him, and then
They can't see your hands.
air quotes control him. Then they'd be like, I don't want to live here. I want to move. So now he has to tell his family, well, I have to follow.
It's not my choice.
It's not my choice. I have to follow my wife. She doesn't want to be here to get away from his family because I think he can only take his family for but so long before he needs a break. Because it seems like he's doing everything for his family. It's like
it did seem like that. It did.
It seemed like his family relies on him so much that he goes to a certain point before he breaks.
And it's like, step it back.
So I got to step back. So he puts himself in these stupid relationships just to get away from his family, and so that when he leaves, it's not his fault. It's the person's fault.
Right.
And then when he comes back, I guess they accept him easier because he's
still a victim. Absolutely.
He's a victim.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but that's the feel like he's done because this is the second time of him doing it.
Right, but in much bigger fashion.
But
last time was just to Miami.
Yeah.
So, but my thing is, how does her mom and dad why did they not tell her parents that they're trying to live there forever? Why? Why are we winging that?
I know why.
I don't understand.
I know why.
That is so confusing. And then when they start talking about their bill, James is, concerned that they're not going to be able to keep up with their car bill. He's like, their car bill is about $700 a month. They had savings. He's like, his original plan was to have $10,000 in the bank when he traveled there. However, their car broke down and they had to put $8,000 worth of repair into that car. And then they were going to try to sell that car before they left, but they weren't able to do it. He's like, no one is buying.
Why would you put that much money?
And then on top of that, that car is still being financed. So he's still paying $700 a month.
Now that I'm thinking about it, it doesn't make sense. Why would you put all that money into that car if you're leaving anyway?
Agreed.
So I would just sell it to the junk.
You could have sold it back to the dealership at that point.
Sold it back to the dealership as is and just take the hit.
Yeah. Call it a day. Because you're going to be leaving anyway.
Yeah.
That tells me like you said, he's not good at making decisions. I wonder if he had one foot out just in case.
And
waited too long.
Back to her. Why she didn't tell her family when she first got back?
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, the youngest one has to take care of the parents.
Mm-hmm.
She left, so she ran from her duties.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first thing she has to live with.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, they were supposed to be gone and have a child by now.
Yep.
They still don't have a child.
Yep.
So that's the two reasons why I think she's trying to waiting until now to tell him, or didn't tell him earlier.
Okay.
Those two reasons.
Okay.
For me.
Family expectations.
Yeah. And two, and most importantly, there's no grandkid yet.
Most importantly. But that's the thing. James also doesn't want to have kids.
He didn't tell her that.
So true. So it's a mess. But he's like, yeah, how am I going to make money? Because he was under the impression that he was going to work with the family, but apparently the family doesn't get paid working for the banana chip plant.
That's another thing.
That's slavery.
Another thing I was going to say. I'm like,
they don't get paid.
Normally in other countries, they don't pay family members when they
work
you
just
together.
do the family business. Yeah. You just work in the family business because it's family business.
And they take care of you.
Yeah. But you don't get the money.
You don't get money.
But she's like, oh, maybe we can sell it ourselves at the marketplace and get a commission. Commission means they're not getting that full money back. They're getting a percentage. The other thing that is glaringly obvious to me is the fact that the return they're going to get on any of that banana chip plan is going to be significantly less than what he was making as an elevator repair person. Because he was making good money.
It'd be significantly less if he's working at McDonald's and going over there doing the same thing. So it don't even matter.
It'd be significantly less if he was a dog babysitter and moved over there.
Yes.
So he's like, I don't know how we're going to hit this bill. You're not. You're not going to make this bill. Are you insane?
You better figure out if they do Uber Eats over there and get himself a little moped.
You better ask your friend or your brother to sell that car or turn it back into the dealership. One of the two. Insane.
They should do Uber Eats over there. They got like 1 billion people.
But 1 billion people can't afford Uber Eats. That's the whole point. The poverty level is insane.
Well, you better get the seasoning.
Not get the seasoning. Anywho, I was like, I have so many questions. So the previews for next week is what we saw when we first saw the trailer for 90 Days The Other Way, which is Natalia full tears, crying, sobbing with her parents, and her dad telling her to kiss her mom's feet, which in a lot of Asian cultures is supposed to show like a sign of remorse and respect of like doing something very bad against the family.
I know why she did that. She's trying to get them a space, so you got to do what you got to do.
Well, I think it's going to be the reveal, 1, that they're moving there. 2, they didn't keep any of their bargain, end of the bargain up. And then 3, not being there for her mom. I think all of that is what's going to lead to that, in my opinion. Also, I wanted to rant on this. I saw on the internet, and I heard from a couple other podcasts that recap 90 Day Fiance. They were having a lot of discourse and conversation around Natalia's dad giving James a hard time for not learning Indonesian by now. They're like, you shouldn't pressure him to learn the language. Yeah, they should. First of all, James promised to learn that language years ago. He promised them that. He says in the show, I'm surprised that they hold promises so regarded so highly. Yes, they do. It's their language. You married their daughter. You're now going to be living in their country. You need to learn their language, especially if you guys had a child. They'd want you to be able to speak that language to their child. I don't think it was out of the realm of possibility for these parents to want James to know the language. It was driving me insane that people were like, yeah, why do they have all this expectation of him learning the language? Because he married an Indonesian woman. He's going to have an Indonesian child. I'm confused. Anywho.
I think living in America strips you of being a worldly person.
Uh-huh.
Because you have no reason to be in your mind.
I live in America. I haven't had the pleasure to travel the world like that.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people just assume.
But I come from an ethnic family.
You're lucky, I guess. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of ethnic kids would understand where this is coming from.
Yeah.
But I guess families, I want to say white families so bad, but I guess families that don't really have that other culture or any other culture that's seen like in that foreign space or that perspective, they're like, why? Why would they want this? Blows my mind. Blew my mind.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's it. That's all of them for 90 Day. The Other Way. You got anything else you wanted to add?
Nope.
Okay. Which leaves us with Love After Lockup, the latest episode. Technically episode 33 of this latest season of, which they say is season 5. It's the weirdest. So,
After Lockup.
Per always, we have Zariah and Troy. Troy is finally out of jail, and we finally know where he is. They went on a little police chase there for a second because he was supposed to be one place, and all of a sudden he was at another place. Turns out that happened because he had to be picked up by his PO, his parole officer, so that he could get his ankle monitor. And they didn't want to take no chances. They wanted that ankle monitor quick and in a hurry, so they did it. But now he's out, and Zariah's there with her family. They welcome him.
Leads me to believe everybody else knew that was happening except him.
They welcome him, congratulate him on being out. They say a little prayer before they leave. The parents leave, and Zariah's like, "Now it's just us. Let me give you your money bouquet." Gives him a money bouquet that she made. I don't know why, and a crown, and then bathes this man like a toddler.
Seems like the crown is a theme now.
This my king business is going too far. But then bathes this man like a toddler. And has a worry that he might have a small penis.
This was the most awkward.
All that was missing was little ducks in that tub.
Season. This was the most awkward episode I've ever seen.
She's talking about how she can't wait to get to this man. And he's talking about how he can't wait to get on her. How like she's his dream woman. Calvin laughed out loud at that.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure that's not the girl he had in his dreams.
It cracks me up because he's not the only one to say that. Joey says it later too.
I'm pretty sure that wasn't the girl he had in his dreams.
He says that Kim's his dream girl. But when they
It's all
explain
lies.
what makes them their dream girl, it's stuff they do for them. She
Exactly.
always picks up the phone.
Which lets you know it's a lie.
Very interesting. But yeah, Zariah bathes this man like a toddler.
Because
she says it's a cleansing bath to like cleanse all the negativity and the jail off of him. But he looks like a toddler in a bathtub. But it's supposed to be sexy. But it looks uncomfortable. So he's out. I'm gonna jump to Julian and Christine. They're our new couple. Christine was the lady who robbed all the banks in like the span of a few days and got caught. And was on the druggist. So she's sober now. And her and Julian are going to the hotel that he booked. Now that she's out, she's hugging up on her cat. She's hugging up on Julian. They're making out. It's real awkward. And then she attacks that man. So we fade to black.
Literally. The cat was like, my God. Can I eat my food first?
She was like, I'm going to have sex with this man tonight.
Can I eat my food first?
And she's like, of course I'm good in bed, naturally. All the experience I had. I'm like, oh my God.
I think that was the first time I seen an animal go in the bathroom and close the door themselves.
She pinned that man to the bed and took off his shirt.
The cat literally
so quick.
The cat literally said, I'll see myself out. I'll go lay in the bathtub. The cat closed the bathroom door, turned the fan thing on so you couldn't hear it, and went to sleep.
But we found out that Christine also has kids that she's trying to see. They're currently in guardianship with, I think, the father of her kids. And even though she has legal right to see them, it hasn't been easy for her to see her kids. And according to Julian, it's all bullshit, and it's a petty situation where like the father child is trying to keep the kids away from Christine for, I guess, as like a
punishment.
Yeah.
But apparently she was on the opioids, and you know
she was on the drugs.
When people on the drugs come to your house, you got to count all your stuff. You got to make them empty their pockets.
But I also wonder, like, was it a situation where he's like, I don't know if there's going to be an erratic behavior situation? Like, it's an unreliable narrative that, in my opinion, that Christine's being kept from her children for petty reasons. I don't know if it's necessarily all petty. So anyway, they fade to black. Then we have Hope and Arthur. My favorite couple.
Hope and Arthur.
Yes. So Hope is Miss Pink.
The guy that went back to jail?
Yeah.
I told you that was going to happen. I don't even know why that's your favorite couple. They last two days.
They're my favorite couple because Hope is delusional. So it's the aftermath of Mom coming down from Nevada and trying to get Arthur to go with her, and he doesn't want to. So now it's Hope and Arthur in her truck, and she's excited because they're supposed to camp out in her truck in Texas in the summer. She wants to die, apparently. So Arthur's sweating bullets in this truck.
It's also a way to lose weight, water weight.
I guess so. Arthur is literally sweating bullets in this truck. And he's like, I know you want us to camp out in this truck, but I cannot. I need some place with air conditioning. Can we stay at your crib? And she's like, you don't want to go camping? Like, she's upset. You don't want to go camping? He's like, it's too hot. She thinks it's because his mom put the idea in his head that he shouldn't want to stay in the truck. I'm like, they show the clip of the mom being like, the truck looks like a jail cell. Are you sure you want to be in an enclosed space like that? Arthur turns and tells her, it's too hot. It's just too hot. I don't want to be in a place that doesn't have circulating air when it's this hot. So, but she's like, no, the mom is influencing him.
I don't think she understands. Heat will make you change a lot of things about yourself. Heat will make you think about, I can be naked in public. People don't care.
Right.
Some just pull my balls out. I don't care.
So she's like, fine, we can go back to the crib. So she hooks her semi back up to a trailer that's nearby, and her apartment's nice. They go into her apartment. She's in a skyrise apartment. Maybe in Texas. I don't know where they are. Well, clearly Texas because it's hot as heck.
I think somewhere in Dallas.
But it's a nice, like, luxury apartment that she's in. But it's like bare bones. So clearly she's not in it all the time. And then they get it in. They get to her bedroom. They get it in. They have a time. We fade to the morning, and Hope is upset because she's reflecting on all of her past actions where she cheated on him and whatnot, and feels like they're kind of moving in their relationship in a negative way, like not in a positive space.
No, she's mad because she gave him $300 to get a tattoo of her.
We find out that she adds that later. She also says, oh, because he says, I saw my name on your butt. Because she put his nickname on there. He's like, why do you have that? And she goes, because we have each other's name on us, right? You have my name, I have yours. And he goes, no. He goes, I don't have your name on me. She goes, what do you mean you don't have your name? That's when we find out she gave him $300 to do this tattoo that they had discussed.
That's why she's really mad, Javon.
But then, but she was also crying about the fact that she cheated on him, remember?
Yeah. She was feeling bad of what she did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Then she realized he didn't put his name on him. That's when she was like, no, screw this.
She changed her mind.
Yeah.
But the point was, she was like going through this ebb of emotions while he was there. But he's like, yeah, I got a rose tattoo instead. Yeah. He's like, I didn't want to, put you out. You already gave me the money. I wanted to get something, so I got a rose tattoo. Nigga. Anyway, that's where we end with them. I'm still interested to see.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That was a pimp move, though. That was a pimp move. I'd have been more pissed off. He said, "See that triangle on my head?
That's you.
I got it for you. This is you."
What is the triangle for? There's something inside it, but I
guess he's trying to not put himself in a triangle instead of a box.
Somebody online said so he doesn't forget what his food groups are.
I don't think he even knows what food groups are.
I laughed out loud. Anyway.
I don't think he knows what food groups are.
He's like, I don't know what a food pyramid is.
Exactly.
But and that's kind of where we end it. He's staying at the crib right now. She's got the truck pulled up. But eventually she got to get on the road and work. My other question is, where the heck is he paroling to? Her apartment? And will he get in trouble if he's traveling the country with her?
Sounds like he doesn't need parole because he's back in jail.
Anyway, next couple we get is Letitia and Keith's storyline.
Keith
is never getting out of jail.
We're
still running the storyline. Yes, we're still running the storyline that Keith could get out of jail any minute because a new law passed in the state where he was convicted, where all those priors they had put against him to add to his time are being dismissed, allegedly.
Evidently, either the priors didn't have that much time to go, or what he did was way more time, and the priors meant absolutely nothing. So they're like, screw it, we'll drop the prior. You still got another 10 years. Something happened.
I don't think any of this is real.
Yeah, or the priors.
I don't think what they're referring to actually happened. So.
Oh, okay.
I think they just wanted a storyline.
That seems like the main answer for this.
We never hear Keith say, "Yeah, I just finished talking to the lawyer." Like we never hear any of that. Anywho, but they're running the storyline that Keith could get out at any moment. We also find out there's a new beef between Letitia. I keep saying Latasha because it's L-A-T, but it's Letitia and Keith's sister. Apparently, where Keith's sister feels that Letitia's not good enough for her brother. And Letitia's like, well, she can feel that way all she wants. She's the one who's going to get kicked to the curb. I don't know how she thinks this, but
all
okay.
I know is get in line. Everybody has a family member who think their wife is good enough for that person.
That's true.
So just get in line.
Anyway.
It's not even a real thing to have when the storyline is stupid.
She throws a little party with the other family members of Keith that will come. And basically they get him on the phone and they're like, congratulations. This could happen. They all have buttons with Keith's face on it. Like, excited that he could get paroled at any moment.
We miss Robert.
Spoiler, he's still in jail. So, whatever they dropped, it wasn't an immediate release. So, also, Letitia's in trouble. In real life. So, anyway. But yeah, that's where we end all of that. I still feel bad for her oldest daughter, who still looked very disassociated about everything that was happening.
Yeah, I think they need to talk to somebody about that girl. Something's going
on. Who else did we have? I talked about Hope North. I talked about Julian. Shanta.
In Truth?
Oh, gosh. Their storyline.
Okay.
True is an idiot.
I got this one.
Okay.
Truth is 31.
It's not truth, it's true.
Truth. You don't get to be called
True.
Truth. He's 31 with the mentality of a 12-year-old. And saying a 12-year-old is an insult to 12-year-olds. I think some 12-year-olds are way more mature than him.
She woke up and he was gone.
She wakes up, he's gone. Mind you, he's engaged.
Mind you, he still has to talk to his parole officer.
Also, so we flash forward, he's in a truck with his sister.
Yeah.
His phone is blowing up.
He's hitting ignore.
He's ignoring it. And he's like, I don't have to check in with nobody. I'm free. I'm like, that's not how relationships work. At all.
The producer's like, are you going to tell Shantae where you at, where your plan is? Nothing. He's like, I don't got to tell her nothing anyway. For real.
Nigga. And that's pretty much the whole episode.
And then has the nerve to get mad at her and say she has too much attitude when he finally comes home.
Tells her she's boring. Right?
He's like, you're always on the phone. She is always on her phone. But
she's on the phone because she's looking back at where did she go wrong.
His complaint is she won't look him straight in the eye when she talks. She always looks like to the side or looks away.
She's been through trauma, and you're an angry person, and you probably look like the person that probably did the bad thing to her. And that's why she can't look at you.
And she has too much attitude. The clip we see, supposedly, to support his statement that she has too much attitude is him badgering her to go to a casino. It's clearly the same night that he got out. It's clearly late in the evening. And he's like, let's go to a casino. You want to go to a club? And she's like, no. She's like, nah, I'm trying to go to sleep, nigga. No. And he's like, she don't want to do nothing. She just wants to stay in the house. She's boring. And I can't get bored. If I get bored, I got to do a lick. It was like,
no,
what?
I can't get bored because I get bored.
Yeah, he gets in trouble and he'll want to do a lick.
He says something that's so stupid.
Yeah, he said he wants to get a lick.
No, before that's like he said when he's idle, that's what he does. But that's how he got in trouble. He's saying he's an outgoing person. If he's not always outgoing,
he gets bored.
He gets bored, and then he gets in trouble. Some way, the way he phrased it, I was like,
he made it sound like it's everybody else's responsibility to keep him entertained. Because if he's not, then he has to go to jail. And that's not his fault.
The way he framed it, I'm like, dummy, maybe you need to sit your behind in the house. That's why maybe you're getting in trouble.
What's cracking me up is his sister knows that he's with the bullshit. But she's like, all right. She's like, how is it with Shanta? Tell me the truth. Like, what?
She doesn't know. I think his sister doesn't care.
No,
she already knows.
She says that she knows that that's not going anywhere. But she is waiting for him because he's going to, in her opinion, the cycle is he finds himself with these people. It does not work out. He moves in with her, with his sister. So she's waiting for the other shoe to drop.
I think she just, and I think she knows he's going back. She knows he's going back.
Then why spend all that money on the jewelry she gave him? Why do that?
People do dumb things for dumb people.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Oh.
Maybe that's her way of her showing her his. Who says she bought it? Maybe it could be his stuff that they already had.
Oh, she's just giving it back.
She's just giving it back to him.
She's like, he likes to be blinged out. He looks like he's dressed from 2016. So anyway.
Yeah, but yeah, he's. I don't know why she thought this dude was.
Who? What's she?
Shanta. Shanta thought this dude was.
Is it Shantae? I don't know how to say her name.
Mentally, not even stable, or mentally adult enough to be with her.
She knew he wasn't. That's why she kept hemming and hawing about staying with him. My theory is she needed something to anchor her after her traumatic experience. And True was it. True was that anchor for her. And because he became that anchor, she faithfully was like, I'm going to make this something that's going to work out. But she never took the initiative to be there physically. Remember, they hadn't even seen each other in person until he got out. She would only send photos. Everything was phone calls and text messages. So now that it's real and he's out, I think they're both figuring out neither one of them want it. Neither one of them want it. I don't think she actually wants to be in a relationship because I don't think she's ready to be in one. And he's perfect for that because he's not serious at all.
I think she tried to use him as a way to get over what happened to her. So that's why she had
Absolutely,
sex with
he
him.
was absolutely a distraction for what happened to her.
So that's why she
Absolutely.
had sex with him to see if she can get through it to get over it.
That part, I don't know. But.
And it makes sense to me because if that was the case, she wouldn't have had sex with him. She's just like, okay, you're here.
I could see her having sex with him to keep him around. I could see that. I don't know if it's necessarily a test. It could also be a test to see if she was comfortable with doing that again after everything that had gone down. But in my opinion, I think she was doing I'm going to play the game to keep him interested for right now. That's what I think. Because they both said that it was fine. And the way that she described their intimacy, she said it was like when she was a teenager. I don't know if you remember teenager sex, but it's not good. Not good. It's just fast. So anyway.
Maybe for you. I was a monster from the day I was born. They call me monster. I had a monster tattoo on my back.
I think that's the most Geechee accent I've ever heard it come out of you.
Yep. That means it's the truth. You ain't know you the truth now. I ain't the truth. That was 100% Geechee.
110%.
Well, you know now. I be the truth now.
But yeah, so it's a mess. You've got True, who is immature as hell, and for whatever reason, Shantae, who's like, I don't understand why he's not trying to take this seriously. You know what? She drags him to his PO to finally get him to check in. But when he doesn't want to go by himself. He's trying to get her to go with him. B, he's like, I shouldn't even be here. I can do whatever I want. She's like, no.
I think he wanted her there to be the parent because he didn't want to get himself in trouble. Because he knew he was about to do something stupid.
I don't think he was worried about getting in trouble. I just think he wanted somebody else to handle it. And she didn't want to handle it.
To get all the information, so
like take care of it and just tell him what was expected. That was it. But no. But it turned out that his PO wasn't there anyway.
Seemed like she don't care neither.
I kind of agree with that. And that's where they get into a fight
because
in the car.
I think they know he going back. So she's like, "It don't need for me to show up. You'll be going back soon."
They get into a fight in the car about how he feels like she is not taking him seriously because she's always on the phone or whatever. And she's like, and we kind of end it there. We're like, they're not in a great place. They're just still bickering. And then we have my favorite couple, Kim and Joey, the cheaters.
How many favorite couples do you have, Joey?
Oh, 2. Hope and Arthur. Kim and Joey.
Okay.
So if you remember, Kim is the single mom who we found out cheated with Joey on her cousin. So there is that. And then she's super excited because Joey's about to get out of jail.
And this lady is bugging all his bags and everything.
With air tags. She's getting stuff set up in the cabin they're supposed to spend the weekend in when he first gets out because they're trying to like get it in and spend time with each other.
The amount of air tags she has,
it's ridiculous.
The government should be looking into her because they might think she's a spy from another country. That's how much stuff she has.
She's activating his phone and putting the location tracker on his phone in the app. Then she's like, and then she doesn't say as backup, but clearly it's as backup. She's just putting air tags on all his stuff so that if he does wander away, she can track it. She's like, if you're open and honest, then all these trackers shouldn't meet. This shouldn't be a problem. I'm like, all of them, girl? This is ridiculous. Anywho. But she's like, I don't think Joey's been loyal in any relationship he's ever had. I think he's...
And that's why I want him.
He's always cheated. And I'm like, girl. Anyway, so...
But it takes someone to know one because she's a cheater too.
She's a cheater. So there's that too. But she's like, yeah, I'm nervous but excited. When Joey gets out of jail... He's thick.
I ain't gonna lie to you. My man had some hips on him. That's all I'd say. He was dragging a lot of wagon.
He was dragging a lot of wagon. Listen, I wasn't upset.
Coming out there like a BBL Drizzy. That's all I'm saying.
Except without the BBL. That's natural, baby. That's all natural.
That's all
Joey.
That's all prison food.
So Kim says that there's somebody who's actively working against the relationship, and she's hoping to get down to the bottom of it. This is the same lady who may or may not have told Joey that she was stepping out on him by messing around with her ex and some guy named Josh. So maybe this lady comes into the story plot at some point, but we leave off with Joey talking to his mom on the phone, the same mom that's watching Kim's kids, and it's right before they head back to the cabin. So next week, we'll get to see what the aftermath of that is, how they spent their first night, and how soon are they? I don't think they're not married because she's technically married still. They're engaged, and what their plans are to move forward with this supposed marriage. She says that she cannot do the drug thing with Joey. So if he gets out and doesn't stay clean, she's like, that's going to be it. But we all know that that's not true. So she's like, but he's different this time. I think he's gonna stay clean. But Joey talks about how he's been on and off drugs for the last 20 plus years. So we'll see. And that's it. That's all we got for Love After Lockup.
The end. You got anything else? What you watching? What you doing?
Oh, watch wise? I've been watching wrestling.
I've been watching. So this is an anime called Rise and Impact. It's anime about golf. If you're a golf enthusiast and you love golf, this anime is the perfect show for you. But you don't have to take my word for it.
Like how you posed, and this is a podcast.
They can still see me.
Oh.
You see me? You see me. Also, another show that I think people like is Love on the Spectrum. That changed my life.
It's not a new show. That's been out.
Yeah, it's been out. I think a lot of people like to watch it. It changed my life. It changed how I view relationships. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't hold back no more. I just tell you how I really feel. I'll tell you the truth.
Interesting.
Because those people are brutally honest with each other.
Yeah.
And that person goes, okay.
Yeah.
And just goes about their business like nothing happened. I'm like, wow. I can't be with her. She doesn't like Batman. She doesn't like anime. This is not going to work.
I mean, but it's factual. Like that's the other thing. It's like if that's factual.
It's not going to work. Okay.
We don't have the same
See you later.
Yeah.
I'm like,
they just like wave to each other and call it a day.
I'm like, wow. And us normal people out here killing ourselves.
Breaking down. Yes.
Breaking
wall
stuff.
Sliding.
Wall sliding. Can't take it because somebody don't like what we don't like. We can't take it if somebody don't have the same ideals we like.
Absolutely.
Killing ourselves.
Absolutely.
And these people are just living their best lives.
They're like, oh, okay.
Finding their people.
Yeah.
Or finding their person.
So happy.
And being so happy.
So true. So true.
The one dude that took his girl to Africa, this motherfucker got money.
Yeah, he does. He took her whole family.
Gosh.
He took her whole family.
How she on the spectrum? She married smarter than me. I'm sorry.
They looking at their favorite animals, lions, live and in real person.
I mean, took her to Africa, met her, get her a lion, and then posted her while she was looking over the Serengeti. They're sitting at a table
and then
looking
they sang a song together.
Over the Serengeti.
Cute.
With her favorite toy in her hand.
So cute.
And asked her to marry her. I'm like, even people on the spectrum are proposing better than me. I need to fix my goddamn life. I'm like, God, I am so lucky. God smiled on me that day. God said, you know, my dumb child, I'm going to save you. I'm going to save you. You know what I'm going to do, my dumb child? Because this is, Lord have mercy. He said his name, Lord have mercy. He like, you know what? I'm going to save you. I'm just going to
Your proposal was not that bad.
I'm going to make her say yeah.
It was in front of my whole family. That's what I wanted.
This dude took her to the Serengeti.
He did. He took her straight to Africa.
All of Africa.
Got her a Nala doll.
Nala doll. He
sang
did
to her.
Everything perfectly. And I'm sitting here. You know what? I fuck that show. I was so mad at that damn proposal. I'm like, this special needs motherfucker gonna outdo
Think he's better than me?
Think he's better than me?
Stupid.
You know what? At least I can say I thought about mine on my own. I'm like, that didn't even sound right. That ain't no better. I thought about it on my own. And that's what I came up with.
Stupid.
But
Love on the Spectrum is a good show. I watched all the Love is Blinds. I watched Love is Blind Mexico and Love is Blind UK. Yes. I will get into depth about those two next week because they were good.
But yeah, that's pretty much all for me.
Okay.
I like how I ended on an angry note, but that's good.
Thank you for listening to We Like That podcast.
So we like that.
Go ahead and click that subscribe button. You know you want to. And rate us 5 stars. I'm Javon.
I'm Calvin.
Later, people.
And we're out.